Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to start off with scientific notation. Okay, so as chemists or as scientists, we have to have a way of communicating our numbers without having to write down all the numbers that are let's say in a piece of data. So scientific notation is our way of doing it. It keeps it simple. It keeps it sane so that we can sit there and do it. And it's easier to put into your calculator if you know how to do it. Okay, so this is the general format for scientific notation where you have one digit, the A represents the first digit, and then B, C, and D represents the other digit, right? So you have like, for instance, we have 1.765, okay? And then since we often will be dealing with very small numbers or very large numbers, we also sit there and put this in terms of the power of 10, right? So if I have 165 times 10 to the negative 17. Now that is a pretty small number, right? Would you guys agree? So if I told you, I'm going to give you 1.65 times 10 to the minus $17, would you be happy with that?
No.
No. Now, if I said I was going to give you 1.65 times 10 to the $17, would you be happy with that?
Yes.
Yes. And that's a very, very large number. And so you guys need to know, pay attention to those numbers because they kind of let you know whether you're getting something big or something small, right? It's going to be very relevant. Okay, so 10 to the E representing that to that power is your exponential. And so we often will write things in scientific notation. So you need to be able to write things in scientific notation and then also decipher scientific notation because sometimes people aren't going to write things in scientific. Okay. Okay, so these are some general rules on to how to convert something from decimal form, scientific notation form. Now, this is a general guideline. I'm going to show you the way that I do it, and so that you can kind of see it. But basically, it'll be fairly simple, right? And then I always pay attention to which way I'm going, the direction, because it helps me understand it better, rather than something like this. But some people feel comfortable with using step by step this way. But I'm going to show you my way. Oops. So, start with an example. Okay, so we have 3,672,192, and we want to change that to scientific notation. Now, the way that I always go about it is I kind of move my decimal so that I can get that single digit decimal and then my number, right? So in this case, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I would write 3.67219 times 10 to the 6. Because I'm going this direction, I'm going towards the left. Since I'm left-handed, I think left is positive, right? So I know it's a positive number. You guys see that? Now, let's say in this situation, we want to change this one to scientific notation. I go and do the opposite. Now I'm moving my decimal 1, 2, 3. So that's 4.61 times 10 to the negative 3, because I find right-handers devilish, so then I know it's the negative. Piece of cake? Simple?
Mm,
So I have a question.
Yep.
So if you're moving your decimal to the left, it's a positive. And if you're moving it to the right, it's always negative?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to put a couple up there, and then I'm going to pick on somebody. Oops. Okay. Let's see. How are we going to do this? Who's going to be my first victim? Let's go with Miliano. You did the first one. Jessica B, you do the second one. David, you do the third one. And we'll go with Jamila. You have the last one. Right on my board. Crap. Let's see. Hold on. Didn't mean to erase it. There you go.
Wait, how do you write on the board?
You go to annotate. So it's usually under view options.
Huh.
So who did the fourth one? And who did the second one?
I did the second one.
Okay, so let's take a look at the second one. We'll start off with the second one. Well, let's start off with the first one. We'll work our way down since we have them all up there. Okay, so that first one, do everybody agree with the first one?
That's what I got.
Yeah, that's what I got.
So everybody has consensus?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so the first one is correct. The second one,
It should be -6.
that is correct. Remember, you're going to the right, right? So you're moving your decimal to the right, so it's going to be negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, negative. And as I say, if you think about money and you were paying somebody, you're gonna get it right a lot more than you'll get it wrong, right? Because you'll look at this, you know that this is much, much less than $1, is it not? It's much, much less than $1,000. So $1,000 is going to be on that positive side, where a penny is going to be on that negative side, you know, for the exponent. Okay? So again, if you're going in this direction, it's going to be negative. Okay? Okay, number 3.
Correct.
Everybody has consensus? Everybody agrees with it?
Yes. Yes, that's what I got.
Yeah.
You guys have verbal commands. Yes, no, yes?
Yes.
Yes, I put
Okay.
that
Yes.
down.
Yes.
That's right.
Okay. Okay, good. So yes, it's correct. Number 4.
Wrong. It's wrong.
It's wrong?
Somebody,
Why is it wrong?
somebody wrote it wrong. They did number 2.
They did part of number 2 and
Oh.
yeah. Part of number 2 and part of number 4, right?
Yeah.
So 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be, cross this out. It's going to be 5.45
5, 4.
6 times 10 to
Okay.
the
Minus 4.
Negative.
minus 4. Okay, now I'm not going to pick on this person because I will always have at least 10 students on exams that do exactly this, where they're looking at the questions and then they combine 2 questions into one. And that's essentially what this person had done. So just kind of pay attention to that. My decimal is really hard to see, isn't it? Okay, piece of cake, simple.
Ish.
Ish.
Wait, I have a question.
Yes.
When there's a zeros, you don't have to write them, right?
If they're trailing zeros here, you don't have to write them. If they're leading zeros, right, you don't have to write them.
That's what I did for number 4. Okay. Lesson learned.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. Can I clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so here we're going to work the opposite way around. Now I want you to write the decimal form for these numbers. So let's see, we're going to have, who did I pick on mine? Let's go with Jocelyn. So Jocelyn, is everybody in your family start with a J?
No.
Okay, just you and your sister?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just curious. Okay, we're gonna go Jocelyn and we're gonna go Siobhan. So Jocelyn, you got the first one. Siobhan, you got the second one. And then I'll add a couple more to top it off.
I'm horrible at writing on here, so I hope this makes sense.
Okay, the only way you get better is by keep doing it. And as you can see, I've been doing it for a while and I still haven't quite gotten it. So
Okay. You. Dr. Henry, I have to nurse the baby, so I'm gonna go black, but I'll still be here.
okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, so let's take a look at those two. And then I've given 4 more to those individuals down here. Everybody else can start working on them. So let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Excellent, that's beautiful. Okay, here, the second one, right? This is a positive number. So it's a positive number. It is going to be on the other side of, or the good side, if we're thinking about money, right, of the decimal. So in this case, we're going to be moving it in this direction. 1, 2, 3. So this should be 5. Oops. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So then that should be 5, 1, 6, 0, 0. Okay, so you moved it in the wrong direction in this situation. You guys get it?
Yeah.
Now think about money. Now if somebody was going to give you $51,600, right? That's what they owe you, and they gave you, and they put this in your bank account because they gave you 0.00516 cents. what would you do? Apparently you guys will just accept it. I don't hear anything. You gonna take that money or gonna be like, okay, oh, I'm rich now.
No, I'm gonna fight him. But I have a
Fight
question.
him. Yeah. Yes.
Are you missing the decimal somewhere?
Here?
Yeah.
You would put it here if you had it, but you don't necessarily have to put it, right? Because it's an understood decimal.
Oh, because you would just add the zeros, right?
Yep.
So there's no need? Okay. I think I'm getting this.
What name is that on the second one?
Farmer.
Oh, that's me?
H. Yes.
Oh, come on, bro. Okay.
Don't worry, I have plenty of love to give.
On the third one, is that a 6?
That is a 6. I
Okay.
apologize.
No worries,
Horrible
I-
handwriting.
Is that a -8 on the second one?
It is a -8.
Thank
It's
you.
not a B.
Oh man, this is crazy.
Don't worry, you'll get used to my horrible handwriting.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Seven.
Okay, as we wait for Mr. Farmer, we can start going through. Okay, so we have, let's see, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we would start from the decimal here. Okay? So if we start from the decimal and we went back 7, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So our decimal technically should be right here. So we have a little too many zeros in this case. You don't want to start from the last number. You start from where that decimal is at. Okay?
Mine's not letting me type or write.
Did you press annotate and draw?
Okay, draw. That's what I'm missing. Yeah. Does it matter what I select after I hit draw?
You can make it, when you select draw, you can do the squiggly line. Squiggly line allows you to draw it better.
Okay, I don't know if I'm even got this right.
All right, we'll find out. As I said, we learn more by mistakes than we learn by getting it right all the time. So it's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. You want to make them right here rather than on the exam, right? Or in real life.
Oh, this is horrible.
So you guys get to see my challenge, right? So that's why I love students drawing on the board, so then they don't complain too much about my handwriting.
But I write like this in real life anyways, so
Ah,
I write sloppy. Oh, I think I
me
messed
too.
up.
So, but I like to blame the board for it. So, okay. So where's your decimal. Oh, you still have more numbers to write.
Wait, hold on. I think I missed that.
Okay, Anna. We'll go ahead to you while he's continue writing. So let's talk about yours. Is this decimal right here? Anna? Are you there, Anna?
Yeah,
Is that a decimal?
yeah.
It is? Okay, so let's talk about this. Okay? So the decimal is actually moving because this is 10 to the 6, right? So is $8 the same thing as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? So then let's fix this real quick. Oops. Oops. Okay. Is $8 the same thing as $8,709,000?
No.
No. So you want to sit there and make sure that you move the decimal, right? Because you're moving it. This is telling us that we're moving the decimal, in this case, back 6 spaces to get the decimal form of the number. Okay, and again, think about money. This is a really big number. You just wrote down that number all over again. It's not the same thing, right? It's as if you're ignoring. It's as if you're ignoring the whole 10 to the 7th. I mean 10 to the 6th. Sorry. You can't ignore that number. You have to always incorporate the exponent. Okay.
Okay.
So don't ignore those numbers. Okay. Okay, Juan. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Okay, 1. That's perfect. And as you can see, it's a negative number, so we know that that's going to be a small number. Negatives for the exponent tells us that the number is going to be less than 1, much less than 1 in this case, and also in this case. So with Mr. Farmer, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is also correct.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys get it? Or are you getting it?
Yeah.
A
Kind
little
of.
more practice. I know it's like, I know you guys were introduced to this and you get rusty when you don't use it. You know, we're going to get off those cobwebs and get you guys started. So can I move on? Are we good?
Dr. Henry,
Yes.
so does that mean that you start the decimal from where it is in the original, like the problem, and that's how many you go back, so you don't start from the last number?
That's right. You always start where the decimal is. It's the decimal that's going to be moving.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah, because people get really pissed off at you. You start shortchanging them, you know. They'll be like, okay, you shortchanged me about, in this case, $100. They'd be pissed. They'd be like, hey, you know, or a multiple of 100 in this case, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, clear. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so now you can also just do this with your calculator. There are various forms of calculators. Do I have both? I don't have both. How many of you guys have your cell phone? Or a calculator available? Anybody have a calculator available? Calculator?
Yes.
Okay, so pull out your calculator. Or your cell phone. And go to your calculator app. Okay, how many of you guys have an iPhone? Everybody have an iPhone or an Android? Okay, so you guys know that if you have your iPhone longwise this way, you see your calculator this way. You know, if you turn it, it gives you a scientific calculator, right? Everybody knows that, right?
I didn't know that.
Well, we know that now.
Mine don't turn.
Okay, so that means you need to go to your under your settings, and then you need to allow it so that it will be able to turn. Okay, so your phone, there is an EE. You guys see an EE on there? I don't know if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay, so that EE stands for your exponent. On a lot of your calculators, oh, my calculator also has a little EE. You see it in yellow there? Let me see. I can't see it, so hold on. Maybe I should make myself, I'm going to pin myself to the main screen. Spotlight video.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so I believe it's on that. There we go. So it'll say EE or it'll say EXP. So that EE and an EXP, they both stand for times 10 times 10 to the whatever power that you put in there. So in your calculator, you can also do the same thing. You guys get that? Okay. So what I'd like you guys to do is just to test it out, either on your phone or on your calculator, I want you to write this number. Okay, so the way you would do it on your calculator, you wouldn't use a minus sign. You wouldn't use this minus sign. You'd use this right here. And usually it's in parentheses. Sometimes it'll say plus minus. The way you would do it on your phone, same thing. For your exponent negative sign, you're going to be using that plus minus up top on your phone. See, hard to see it. But it's up there. You turn it to the side. Okay, and then you tell me what you get. Let's see. Who hasn't been? Abby. Are you there, Abby?
Is that a decimal after the 7?
Yes.
All right,
There's a decimal there. Okay, Yvonne. And a reminder to those who are on black screen, I need to see your faces so I get an idea that you understand the material. And it also lets me know if you're there and I should call on you. If I don't see your face or if I don't see your body, I'm going to call on you because you gave me a black screen. You're going to be the first person I call on anyway, just to show me that you're not there. Not that it matters either way, so.
I'm not sure I'm putting this in.
And don't worry about your hair and your makeup. It doesn't bother me if you didn't get all dressed up for me. I won't take too much offense. Although I work really hard to look so good. I get up about 2 hours early, put my face on, so I look good for you guys. So. But you don't have to worry about that.
It's not doing this right.
Okay, so Vaughn, you're going to give me the answer? What did you get with your calculator or your phone?
Hold on, I'm trying to make my calculator work.
Okay.
I have a question.
Okay, I have an answer. It may not be the right answer.
I don't know how I'm going to use are you saying I should just type 7.16 times 10 and then use the plus minus?
Nope. So in your calculator, how you would type it, and I'm glad you asked that because I didn't explain about the times part,
I
right?
did it right.
So if you're using your phone, you're going to type in 7.16, and then you're going to press the EE button.
Okay.
And then you're going to put where it says plus or minus, you're going to put minus and then the number. And then you're going to hit equal, and it's going to give you a number. Okay?
No.
You said no?
Yeah, I didn't get you. 7.16.
Oh,
Then
this is what you're going to type in. I'll type. So it'll be 7.16. And then you're going to hit there's a button that says EE. Or you may have the EXP button. And then you're going to hit, there's a thing that say plus minus, or it'll say parentheses minus. So, oops, sorry, plus slash minus. You're going to hit that button, and then you're going to hit in 4.
Okay.
Okay? Some of you guys will have to do it like this, 7.16 EXP. Plus, plus minus 4. And some of you guys will actually have cool calculators that do it the way it looks. So you'll have 7.14, and then there's 7.16. And there's a button that actually says 10, and it'll say X. Let me fix this. Hold on. I'll have to write the X up in a second. It'll say 10X, and then you just type in 4, or I'm sorry, it'll be plus minus.
Dr. Henry.
Yes, sir.
So for the calculator version, you just put 7.16 second EE 10 -4.
That is correct.
Okay.
And then you want to make sure to use this -4, this negative, and not this subtraction. Okay?
Okay.
Dr. Henry.
Yep.
I'm trying to do this on my calculator. Well, it's my husband's fancy math calculator, so I can't figure it out.
Okay.
Can you see my screen? Do you see this?
I can see your screen. Let me pin you so you don't move. Hold on. Let me find you again. Okay. Okay, go ahead. Show me.
Okay, so it's this fancy. He's a math teacher, so he has these fancy calculators.
Excellent. Yeah,
so I don't know what I'm doing something wrong because it says error.
Okay, so in your case, you're gonna put second. You see that yellow button? You see the yellow button? Doesn't that say second? So you're gonna put 1.76, and then you're gonna put second, and then you're gonna press that where the E is at. You see EE? Yeah.
Yes.
EE, and then at the very bottom right there, you'll have a negative. And then put 4. So did it work for you?
Not really. It kind of just gave me the same thing. I'm confused.
Did you hit enter afterwards?
Yeah.
Oh, so it just gave it to you in scientific notation?
Yeah, pretty much 7.1.
Okay. Let's see. So then it's already set up for scientific notation.
Before. Yeah, it just gave me back. I don't think you can see it probably, but it just
Yeah, I can see it actually. Yeah. So in that case, the settings right now is set up for scientific notation, not set up for decimal, right? So if you
Oh,
change it, and you can change your settings. I'm trying to remember how to use that one because that's a little bit different. Hold on.
Yeah, it's the TI-83 Plus.
Okay. Hold on. Well, I'll get back to you
Okay.
because I have a different model, but I'll get back to you and I'll tell you how to go about and changing it so you can change it from decimal and to scientific.
Okay, sounds good.
Let me put that on my to-do list. Okay. Any other questions?
Did you tell us the answer yet?
I was waiting for you guys to tell me the answer.
Oh man, why did mine clear?
Excuses.
I got 3.80494086 E negative 44.
Okay. So obviously that is probably wrong because you should end up with at least the same number. That's
Okay.
something that has a 7 in it, right?
yeah.
I got
You got
0.0007.
0.000716.
That's right.
yes.
Yes. So we'll write it down. Can you do me a favor, write it on the screen what you got so that everybody can see it? You're going to hit annotate. It's probably under view options.
View option.
I'm obviously putting it in my phone wrong because I keep getting the positive out of it, even though I'm hitting the M negative. So just easier for me to do it manually.
Well, you're going to want to not only do it manually because it's going to get a little complicated after a while.
Okay,
So
yeah.
you can't fight technologies. Who was that?
If
Let me
you
see.
have an iPhone, I can try to show you.
Tiffany.
That was me. I wrote it in
Tiffany?
text.
Okay, hold on. So Tiffany, we'll get it. We'll get you there. You know, it's a process. It's a process. Who says? Who's going to show them? I like that.
I can. If it's an iPhone, I can.
Yeah, I have an iPhone.
Okay, so what you do is you type in the 7.16.
Right.
I don't know if you can see me,
No, I can't.
but
I got that.
okay. Well, right after that, you see the EE button right under log 10.
Yep.
So hit that once.
Mm-hmm.
And then immediately after that, in the top, right corner-ish, there's a plus or minus.
Mm-hmm.
Hit that once.
And then just the 4.
And then hit 4.
Yeah.
And then it should bring you to that one, that answer.
Every time I do that, it says 71,600 is what I keep getting.
And you keep getting the positive one. It's not recognizing the negative number.
Yeah.
So let's see. So you 7.14.
Mm-hmm.
7.16. 7.16. EE. And then plus or minus. And you want to make sure that the minus comes on the screen. So did you see the minus pop up?
Try that.
When you put plus or minus? If not, hit it again.
Am I hitting the M minus or just literally the subtraction sign?
No, there's one that says plus and minus right here. It's right next to the division sign.
Okay. Yep. That's what I'm doing wrong. Sorry. I don't know why.
No problem.
Got it. Thank you, guys.
Yep. Don't worry about it. Like I said, it's I'm going to stress this one more time. Do not try to avoid technology, right? Because particularly in this class, you need a calculator that you can do these things with, because otherwise it is very, very painful to try to do it by hand.
And you're gonna let us use a calculator during a test, right?
Yes, you can use a calculator during a test.
Thanks.
Yes, or you
Should
can.
I buy a calculator if I don't have one?
What was that? If you
I
don't
only
have one,
I only have my phone.
okay, you can check them out from the library, and
Okay.
I know some of you guys are in situations where you're actually in other cities that are really far from Kalinga. So I'll be talking to the library later today or people that are in the library that will be responsible for checking some of these things out, and I can get a solution for it. So we'll work on getting that solution. So maybe they'll ship them out to you as well. So, okay.
Thank you.
Quietly.
Okay.
Close the door quietly.
But yes, you won't be able to use your phones. So you do want to get a calculator. You can check them out from the library, and they have a lot of them, in particular in the summer, because they don't have the whole student population checking them out. So if you do need them, contact the library. I think it's under your resources, and see about checking them out. But I'll see about, in the cases where you guys, I know somebody lives in SLO, somebody lives in San Diego. So under those circumstances, I'm sure that we can make some type of arrangement for those, send it to you, and you'll have to return it. Okay. We may even pack it up in your kit in that case. So, okay.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. Yes.
On my calculator, it doesn't have EXP or EE, but it does have like the X and then the 10X. Would that replace those two?
Yes. So you would just, in this case, you would use the 10X. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So you would just multiply it. So you'd be times 10X, and then that X, 10X, you just put in the number. So in that case, you'd put the -4 after that.
Okay.
Okay. Did it work for you?
I am trying it right now. Yes.
Yeah. And if you guys can do me a favor, if you can email me, if you are having trouble with entering this into your calculator, if you can do me a favor, email me the model of your calculator, right? Or even better, you can actually search the model of your calculator, and sometimes all you have to do is scientific notation, and then it will pop up on Google how to do it, how to. And you can also do it in YouTube. There's actually videos to show you on YouTube as well. So, because all I'm going to do is send you a link to a video anyway. So, okay. But actually, if you can do me a favor and send me your models, everybody send me their models anyway, so I can kind of see I can prepare for this in advance, right?
Do you want it through the email?
Do it through Canvas email. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so can we move on? You want to let's take a 5-minute bathroom break?
How
You
does
guys
it,
go with that?
sorry, how does it distinguish between a positive and a negative? Do you hit the same, you do the same
Yes.
step?
Yep, that
And
same number. Yeah, so instead of like when you hit 7 point, let's say you want it to be a negative number. So all you'd hit is that plus or that plus slash minus in that case. So you hit enter the number, and if you hit plus or minus, it'll automatically change that to either a plus or a minus, depending on what you get.
Gotcha.
Okay. But those are good questions.
Right?
Okay. 5-minute bathroom break. 5-minute bathroom break.
Yes.
Is that okay? Okay, so I'll see you back in 5 minutes. Okay, everybody back? Not yet. We'll give them more minutes. So how are you, Jessica? I saw that you were texting me last night. I was passed out.
That's fine. So I came from a meeting right now, so that's why I didn't come to your class this morning. But I managed to get the resources. So the resources are there for the students, like the periodic table and all of that stuff.
Yep.
And as for the links, I can't do like a link directly to the chapter, but I did notice that on the side of the PDF, they have the option of actually just going to that chapter instead of scrolling. Yeah. But I'm still attaching the links to the rest. I just wanted to get Unit 1 in the way because I know that's what they're working on right now. And what else? I have so many things on my mind.
So were you at the ag meeting this morning?
Yes. You were not there, Dr. Henry. Were you invited?
No, I don't think I was. I have to take a look. I have the meeting is at 4 today.
There was one today this morning, and then there's another one at 4 because Rebecca was like, oh, Dr. Henry is here.
Yeah. Maybe I was, but I thought it was from yesterday, and I may have ignored it. But I have to tell her I have class at 8, so we're gonna have to do it at 4. And I'm not gonna be at every meeting, for that, because because I can't, you know.
I'm
How
guessing
bad was it? You sound like it was pretty bad.
I'm just overwhelmed right now because I think they're gonna give me also the high school students.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know how that's gonna work out because I think they also want me to be present during Mari's lecture.
Yeah.
So kind of the same thing with you.
Yeah.
But like I kind of maxed out my hours with you, you know, like I can't be given more hours. But
Well,
I don't know.
how many total hours are they giving you?
We still like I still don't know. Like
Okay.
everything is still up in the air. I think that's why like we're having the other meeting. I don't know. There's so many meetings going on.
Welcome to my world, you know, and so that's why if they don't let me know in advance, then they get ignored until, especially because they obviously set up that meeting within, because I didn't see it yesterday at all. So when did they send it to you?
They send it to me. Let me check my email. Well, no, yeah, it was actually yesterday, but in the afternoon.
Yeah. So after a certain point, I don't.
You don't.
That 2-day rule that applies to to other things as well. So.
I see. Yeah. So everything is
way
still.
too many emails. So you know.
Yeah. I had a question for a student actually. Tiffany emailed me yesterday regarding the lab notebooks. So how do you want them to set them up? So because I'm still a little lost as well.
Yeah, I'll give them that information, and we kind of talked about that. I have to update it. I have to upload it. I have to find it first in the new version. So I'll actually provide that right now. But I do want to provide one more thing. Everybody's back or almost back. Give me 1 second.
I'm back.
You're back? Good.
I'm here too, Dr. Henry. I'm just feeding nursing my baby.
Okay. Version 3. Version 3. Come on. Yeah.
Hey, Dr. Henry, I've got a question for you.
Yep.
Let's just say we want to get in contact with like our group members. Is there a way to chat individually with people? Because when I click on people's faces, it like give those 3 little dots, it'll give me the option to chat with them, but then it just takes me to the chat where everybody can see it.
I assume that, let me take a look. I'll find a way. Also, what we can do, I can set up times so that you guys can meet, and then you guys can just go into a private room.
Okay.
And so we can also set up days like that where you just go in, because you guys notice that you guys can get in without me being here. Has there been any case?
Like, I don't know how to do that.
Well, like you guys, for instance, you went to that other room, right? The one that we had the other day, right? So those rooms are still open technically. You guys can go to an older one and then just meet there. Okay? So an older Zoom meeting and meet there. So, but I'll also set up times where you can go into Zoom and you don't necessarily meet me there. I always get the messages that you guys are waiting for me, but you guys are able to still interact and stuff independently. Okay? So we'll set up those times. And so I'll give you guys a block of time so that you guys can come in and meet, and then with each other. And so you guys can sign up for those times to do that. Okay?
Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, they need to find a way, because, you know, part of your course is peer-to-peer interaction. That is supposed to be part of the course online, and so they need to find better ways of doing it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think they're also going to give me a lab kit to be doing the lab with the students, kind of like baby them. I mean, I know they're in high school, but I mean, there comes a point where you have to learn on your own. But I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to give me a lab kit, and they want me to pick up a book. So I'm still, I don't know. I think everything is just miscommunicated right now. Everyone
Okay,
has to
so
come in at once.
okay, so I will set up, and that's for this class. It's not also for the soils class, is it?
It's for, oh yeah, it's just for the chem class. Oh gosh, no,
Okay.
no, I cannot do two. Yeah,
Okay,
just the
so
chem.
I'll talk to them later today. And then we also, yeah, we need to start communicating better. We're not communicating well. So we'll get that
Yeah.
under control.
Okay, because I mean, the team is great, like each individual. It's just the miscommunication.
Yeah.
Because everyone's a great person, like individually. It's
Yeah.
just we're all miscommunicating with one another.
Yeah, yeah. The right hand never knows what the left hand's doing, and so we are reinventing the wheel on a lot of things. Okay, so let's talk about the lab notebook. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm writing all over it already. Okay, so I'm going to send you this file. We'll try again. How many of you guys have Microsoft Word, the suite for it?
I do.
Is that on our canvas or what?
It isn't on your canvas. It's actually, as a student, you have free access to it. So if you go in the student portal, you're able to download it.
Wait, did you say just Microsoft Word or?
It's actually Microsoft. It's the whole suite for Microsoft. Microsoft Office. Sorry, that's what it's called.
Dr. Henry, do you want me to convert that to a PDF and upload it, or do you just want to keep it like that?
Yeah, you convert it to a PDF, but you can also, it doesn't matter. It can also be a Word document as well.
Okay.
But yeah, you can do the conversion. I'll send you guys the file itself. I'll send it via Zoom again. We'll try again. I know some of you guys got it. You want to look in the chat. It'll pop up in the chat, I believe. Let's see.
I don't know how to do
Can't be signed yet. We haven't really got to the nitty gritty. It's too early.
That's just easy.
Don't worry. I'm going to make you stress. You'll learn to deal real quick.
I have a question for the students. Do you all have access to the resource tab? And that resource tab has the periodic table, like all the tables you have access to that?
Yeah, I see it right now. I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
Do you want me to click on something?
Yes, please, just so I know that you guys have it on your end.
Okay. I'll click on the periodic table. Okay. Yep, I have it. It works.
Where's the resource tab at?
You just go further down.
Uh-huh.
And you should see it under, let me see if I can go back.
So you have to go to modules and then all the way at the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, in module, okay.
Okay. Did you guys get it? Oh, I sent to Israel. Sorry.
Okay, I see it now, Jessica. Thank you.
Okay, that's good.
So
Okay. Try it now. See if you got it.
Where did you send it, Dr. Henry? I'm not seeing it.
It's under the group chat. So if you hit the chat button, it'll pop up on your chat. You should have there should be a number in red under your chat, and that means that there are chats that are there.
Yeah, I'm in the chat, but I don't see it in here.
Okay. So do me a favor, take a screenshot of your chat. Let me see. I'm going to see if I can send it to you only. Did everybody else get it?
I'm on an iPad though. I'm not on the laptop.
You didn't get it either?
I got it. I don't know if that makes a difference.
It should make a difference. You should be able to get it, but let's see. Try this. Okay, so, and Yvonne, what are you using?
My iPhone.
You're using your iPhone? Mm-hmm. Okay, so that might be the issue. So we'll fix that here.
Would I need to use my laptop?
Yeah, you'd be able to
Because
get
I
it
have
from your
it.
laptop, but I'll send it to you via email as well too. I'll send it to everyone in the class. So everybody will
Okay,
have it.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so things that I'm learning about Zoom, right? That it's a complete learning experience. So those who are using laptops, did you guys get it?
Yeah, Dr. Henry, can I share
Yeah.
my screen with you so you can tell me if this is correct?
Sure.
Okay, 1 second. Oh, it says that the host has disabled participant screen sharing.
Okay, hold on. That's because I'm sharing my screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I rule, so you guys can't do anything until I say it's okay. Okay, go ahead.
Is this correct? Can you see it?
Yep. Yes. So you
Okay.
scroll down. Scroll down. Yep, that's it.
Okay.
So you did receive it.
Yes.
Okay.
But I had to download it onto my desktop because I couldn't open it as a file itself.
Okay.
Can you email it to me as well, Dr. Henry? I haven't received it.
I'm going to email it to everyone. So give me 1 second.
Dr. Henry, do you just want me to put it under resources with the PDF just so students can access it from there?
Yep, that would be great.
Okay.
Okay. How's it? Did you guys receive it?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so
I got it. Thank you.
Yeah, I see it now as well. Thank you.
okay, no problem. Let's see if we can pull it up. Okay, so when you get to your shell, when you hit class notebook, it should take you to it. The first thing that you want to establish is your table of contents. And you want it to be broken down into a table, ideally, with lab number, title of the lab, a place where I can give you your grade, plus, of course, you have your grade book to get it as well. But this will kind of give you a grade, and then I'll give you comments. The comments will let you know what you're doing wrong, or if you're doing a great job, or things like that, so you can make the corrections and so you don't get points deducted for the next one. The lab reports are going to be worth 100 points each. The way it's broken down is you have to give me the title of the lab, the purpose, clearly state the hypothesis, and you want to make this concise. Do you guys know what I mean by concise?
Brief.
Specific.
Oh, you guys can't see my screen. Let me share my screen. So concise means brief. I don't want it to be verbose, so just kind of get to the point, right? I'm a scientist. I like things really simple, clearly explained, and short, right? Kind of like you guys. I noticed, like, if I give you questions that is like a page long, you guys will ignore most of the question and just look at the little bit at the end, right? And answer that one part of that question. So I'm very much the same way. So kind of be brief. Materials. I want to know the materials that you're using for the lab. And so this is also kind of to help you so you can find those materials when you're going through it. I want you to outline the procedures in your own words. Again, this is a brief process. Checklists are great. So simple, add this, do that, you know, real simple. Be very brief, concise. Then I want you to record your observations and your data, right? Now, this is your raw data. This is not the stuff that you're manipulating or anything like that. And there's a difference between data and results. And I want you guys to understand there's a difference between data and results. Data is just the raw stuff that you're writing down real quick. Oh, I got 5.7. You know, you're not doing the pretty form, right? Now, results is when you actually do all your calculations, you do your tables, you do your graphs. That's going to be your results. That is not considered your data. It's considered your results, okay? So results are those calculations, and it is the figures that are explained, okay? Now, your results, as I told you, are going to be the calculations that you're using the data for. It's where you organize your data, right? So often you're going to have nice tables, graphs to show me what you're trying to show me. Now, if you don't label your graphs, how do I know what it is? And assume that I'm dumb and I didn't tell you to do the lab. So you want to make sure that it's clear that your graphs are clearly labeled. I should know both axes and what the data is trying to tell me, right? And you want to be unbiased, right? You want to just give me the facts. Okay, so in the conclusion, this is the part that you get a chance to be biased. Okay, so in the conclusion, you want to briefly state the purpose and the hypothesis, right? Briefly. You want to answer all of the questions in the lab. You want to clearly identify unknowns and make sure that you number those unknowns, because otherwise I don't know what you're talking about. And not all your labs will have unknowns, but there will be one or two that will. And usually those unknowns count as individual points themselves. So if you don't give me that information, you could lose a whole 100 points. You want to evaluate your hypothesis. This is the part where you can get, you know, you can give me the spin, you know? So kind of like in a news show where, you know, they either lean to the left or lean to the right. You want to do exactly the same thing. Oh, yes, it was right because of blah, 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 and give me all of your fluff. Not really fluff, but again, concisely give me that, okay? You want to tell me if the lab didn't work, you want to tell me what went wrong. And you also want to tell me how it went wrong, right? We had an incident where a student actually had broken the tube that they were using. And so when they were trying to collect the gas and everything like that, the tube was leaking. And so it was all the gas was leaking out, so they didn't get any gas recovered. So then they took a picture of the tube leaking and stuff like that. They explained it. You're good to go. And you want to give me an idea of what you've learned. Hopefully you learned something. That's the whole purpose of the lab, right? So you should be able to do that. Now, the important thing, this is going to be worth the 50 points. So the first part is 50 points. This down here, which I need to add on, this part is worth 50 points, the most important part. If you did not do this via Zoom, like our Zoom meetings normally, and you did it on your own, and sometimes you may have to do it on your own, you need to give me a link to a video. Don't upload the video, right? Don't upload the video onto Canvas, because what happens when you upload the video onto Canvas, they get so big and I don't get a chance to open Canvas. I'm already having trouble already with the stuff that I have on there. So just imagine if I have, 18 gigs of videos each week, it really gets bulky,
Dr. Henry.
Yes.
So number 9 is you're basically doing the lab alone, right?
Yes. This is if you're doing it alone. If you're doing it via Zoom, I have recordings of what you've done. The purpose of this is documentation. I have to have documentation of you having face-to-face. The only way that I have face-to-face of you doing the lab is if I see you doing the lab, not your boyfriend, not your girlfriend, not your son, right? Not your mama, not your nana, You have to be doing the lab, okay? And that means that I need to see you starting the lab, the middle of the lab, and the conclusion of the lab. So those are the major portions of the lab. So if you're good at clipping things out, just give me those 3 segments and we're good to go. You can also give me a picture collage of you doing the lab if you're not so keen on doing big videos, right? Or putting yourself on YouTube, okay? So, but I prefer the video because then again, I have documentation. So if the state comes in and said, well, all the students that took this class, we're not going to give them credit. It doesn't count because of this. And I said, well, no, it does because they've done this, right? So it makes sure that your time in my course counts as lab. Okay? Do you guys understand why it's important?
Yes.
Okay. So again, this is a link. It is not the actual video. So you're going to be uploading your video to either Google Drive or you're going to be uploading it to YouTube. And just send me the link in there. And make sure it stays up in there. And I think the rule is keep it up for 2 years and you have to drop it, and then we can drop it.
So is the labs coming like next week or 2 weeks? Or is that something we're looking into in July?
No, your labs technically should be coming next week. I have to make a phone call today. I'll be making it today to confirm and also to find out the delays, if there are delays. One of the issues that we're going to run into is because our class is significantly bigger than what I originally thought it was going to be. Significantly. We doubled the size. So that means that we're going to be, we have some things on campus, but we don't have all the things. So we'll be supplying you things in some cases as we go. The idea is that I'm going to try to get it all together and give it to you all at once. That is the goal. However, we may have some complications, so you may get the first half of the labs and then the second half of the labs. Now, the benefit is that I'm coming to your area of the woods, so you don't have to come to my area of the woods, or it's going to be mailed to you if you're very far away. Okay? So you've got to work with me on this, and I apologize for having it be so unorthodox. But, when everybody decided to get on the waiting list and everybody got on there really late, then that also affects things. At first they thought they were going to cancel my class, which I thought was kind of funny. Because I told them, yeah, they were planning to cancel it because initially, towards the end of the semester, there were a total of, I think there was only 10 people that were registered for the course.
What
was that?
I petitioned to take your class, but they put me in a different teacher.
Okay.
I had to tell them to I told them that you were emailing me and then I told them that I was in the wrong class originally. And they were like, oh, well, see if Dr. Henry, they asked about you to see if you were available. And I said, I'm sure it's available because there's a lot of seating.
Yeah.
But the office admissions that I've talked to acted like it was full. And I
Yeah.
kept telling them it's not full. If you want to have a video conference with Dr. Henry, then he'll more than gladly explain the seating arrangements
Yeah.
in the class, because they acted like it was full, but I kept, like you said yesterday, to be persistent. So I kept telling them, and then they finally said, "Oh, you're right," and then they
got you in. Yeah.
did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of trouble because COVID has really affected, it kind of threw us for a loop. Nobody expected this to happen. And, West Hills is still kind of technically challenged. We're getting there, and that's the reason why I want you guys to do better than what we're doing. And so there were a lot of issues. And so as a result, I only ordered so many kits. And I actually pushed them to order more, and they were kind of resistant on it. They were like, well, we're not going to get that many students. And then all of a sudden, everybody starts registering towards the end. And so it made it interesting. So we have challenges, but we'll work through them. So don't freak out, breathe. If I can stay calm, you can stay calm. You guys got that, right?
Dr. Henry,
Yes.
how much labs do you think we're going to be able to do this semester? Oh, I mean, this summer, I'm sorry.
Oh, we're going to do all the ones that are listed on the thing. Don't worry, you'll get them all done. Ask Jessica. We find ways to get them done.
Okay.
Yeah. So every one of the ones that are listed on your syllabus, they'll get done. We make things
That's
happen.
great.
What was that?
Dr. Henry?
So that's just great.
I have one more question, Dr. Henry.
Wait, David, somebody else had a question before you did.
I had a question for the video. Earlier, how it was said that we only do the video if we're not doing it on Zoom.
Yes.
We can do it on Zoom like as a class?
Yes. So 2 days a week is really dedicated
what does that
to
mean?
labs. Wait, I'll explain. So Monday and Wednesday are going to be technically lectures. Tuesdays and Thursdays, those are your lab days. So you may get some lecture in those lab days, but it's really dedicated for you guys to sit there and do your labs. So you get in, you come in, you set up your lab, you do your lab, and you're good to go. If you have the simulations, right? The simulations, they keep track of themselves, right? So I get information about what you've done on the simulations. You don't have to worry about taking pictures of those. But it's the face-to-face or the hands-on labs. Those are the ones that we need because you guys are required to do so many labs hands-on. And so I need to keep track of those hands-on labs, okay? And so those 2 days, you're gonna come in and do labs.
You're
and you can get ahead. I'm breaking up, sorry, it's because I'm not talking into this. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so Tuesdays and Thursdays are gonna be dedicated for you to do those labs. So you can come in and set up to do those labs. As I said, sometimes there will be lecture, right, in the beginning, but the rest of the time is for labs. So we're gonna set up anytime during that day. You can come in, do your lab, it's gonna be recording. So we'll have documentation of you guys doing the lab. So if you do it that way, all you need to do and put into your lab report is that did it via Zoom, okay? That's the only thing, and I didn't write that in there. I'll type this in there now and I'll send you the revised version, okay? So if you've done it via Zoom, I have record of it, okay? If you didn't do it via Zoom, if you're doing it on your own time, because I know that some of you guys want to do it all at one shot on the weekend, that's fine. You can go ahead and get ahead and do them all if you want to, right? That's great. It makes it easier for me. But you want to record the climax. You want the setup, the climax, and the conclusion of the lab. So you want to make sure you have those 3 segments recorded for all your labs when you do that. Okay? Okay. Any other questions?
For the recording, which type of recording that worked best for you to see the videos? Is it like for example, can we do it on our phone, or do you prefer doing on video recording on our laptop, or can we do it?
I like the phone. The phone is simple, right? You just set it up, you get it angled, you hit start, you're good to go, right? And it's easy to upload, right?
So we just upload it on YouTube or something, and then
you just upload it on YouTube, and you just give me the link.
Okay.
Okay. And I may actually steal some of your videos and put it on my YouTube site. So if I like it, just so you know.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? And I'll have waivers for you guys to sign for that later on anyway. So anything else? Okay, good. Okay, so we're approaching 11-ish. I wanted to get a lot more done, but I'm going to take a moment to show you how to use Excel because I think it's important for you guys to learn how to use Excel. Would you say that, Jessica? Okay.
Right. Yes, it's very important. I keep putting it on mute. Yes. Can I also make another comment, Dr. Henderson?
Yeah.
So today I'll be having my tutoring hours from 1 to 3. I'll send you guys an email, but this is just a reminder.
Yeah, and tomorrow is Thursday. I'd like you guys to come in because we're going to finish chapter 3. I know it's dedicated to labs, but we're going to finish it up. But I did want to talk about Excel a little bit because I think it's going to be valuable for you. And I find that a lot of you guys, because I grew up with Microsoft Office Suite, or I should say Microsoft Office. And I know you guys are growing up with Google Docs. Google Docs is great, but Google Docs has limitations that Microsoft Office doesn't. And it's good if you're able to use both. Am I wrong on that so far?
No, you are right. This will come in handy, you guys. Not just for chemistry, but other science classes maybe too.
A funny thing, I did Google Docs through my 4 years of high school with all my English teachers because we did laptops.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like heavily reinforced in my high school. So
yeah, and they're very similar, but like I said, you have a little more flexibility with Excel, you know, because a lot of the functions and things that you have in Google, or I should say you have in Excel, you don't have in Google Docs. And we're going to talk about some of those. Okay, so can you guys see my screen? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes. Yeah,
Yes.
we can
You're
see
already
it.
doing this? Can't be doing this all the time. Is it bothering you that much? Okay, so let's talk about numbers, right? So if you take a look here, this will allow us to control our numbers and how they're being presented to us. So we have the general format, so that basically will do general numbers. It's going to put in a number if we're doing currency, money, if we're going to be doing accounting, if we're going to be doing percentages, if we're going to be doing fractions, if we're going to be doing scientific notation. So typically most of us starts off here with, so let's say for instance, we're using 0.000000. And I want to make copies of it. I can just pull down, that'll allow me to make copies. If I click on this tab, I can fill series. So it increases everything by increments of 1. We can actually control how we do that, and that's done up here if we wanted to control that.
Is that data?
I believe it is, I think it's under insert.
What will we be using for Excel? I mean Excel.
What do you mean by what will you be using for Excel?
Like, do we use it to find our problems with, or?
Sometimes you'll be using it for graphing. Sometimes you'll be using it to solve a problem quickly. I know that if you take my 1 series, you'll be using it quite a bit to solve quadratic equations and equilibrium problems and graphing and things to that extent.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, so let's say this is the data that I collected, right? And I want to put in scientific notation. So it's pretty simple to sit there and put this in scientific notation if I want to do so. I go here, I'll go down to scientific notation, and it puts it in scientific notation. But it also does rounding, it only keeps 2 digits. Now, however, if you click on it, it'll tell you, if you look at the box up here, it'll tell you what it is in decimal notation. Okay, now here scientific notation is denoted differently than what you guys see it as. It says E. This E represents that times 10 to the, so this is 10 to the minus 0, minus 9, okay? So then this would be 1 times 10 to the minus 0. And then this one would be 1.3 times 10 to the 10 to the 10th power. Okay? So if you take a look on it, you can confirm that by counting. Simple. So let's say I wanted to multiply all of these by 10. So I'm going to say I'm multiplying it by 10, or let's say, let's do a crazy number. Give me a crazy number, somebody. 69.7. Okay, so then what I can do here is I can put equal, and this is also being recorded so you guys know. Put the number by selecting that box. Times is depicted by the star, and then I put the number that I'm multiplying it by. Now, let's say I wanted to do this to all of the things that are there. All I would do is drag this down. Okay, so then it tells me, if you look in the box up here, it tells me what it's done. So it multiplied whatever's in D15 by 69.7. Okay, let's say I want to do a complicated function. Are you guys familiar with log? The log function?
Somewhat.
Somewhat. So log is so the log function, log base 10, means that it's taking the exponent and looking at the exponent of that number. So it gets it to the nearest exponent that it is. So if I said I wanted to take the log of this column, so we'll just say log of x, right? So then I just go equal. There's a couple of ways. I can go up here to formulas, and then I can select the formula that I want to use, right? So we know it's a math trig formula. So we'll click here, and then we're going to look for the one that says log, and it'll actually tell you how to use it. So I want log base 10, so it's log 10 of this number, right? And so then I pick the number that I want it to be of. And so that would be log base 10. And then I want to do that for all of them. I can do that. Do you guys see that?
Yeah.
So let's say I wanted to graph this. So I would go under Insert. These are all the different types of graphs that I'm capable of doing. But let's say I wanted a scatter plot. So that's an X, Y graph, right? X-axis, Y-axis. I'm going to get rid of this point right here. So we're going to get rid of this one for right now, or actually, we'll change our. Okay, so right now I have it graphed. Now, this point here throws everything off because it's so big, right, compared to all of the others. So what I want to do is sit there and set it up so that I'm ignoring that point entirely. So I want to deselect that. So what I'm going to do is go under, I'm going to click onto my graph, going to go, I'm going to go under data selection, and then I'm going to click on here, hit edit, and then instead of going to 15, right, I'm just going to go to 14. So I'm just going to ignore that piece of data. Okay, so now you can see that it's a nice little curve, right? Let's say I want to draw a line. I'll go up here to add part elements. I go under trend line. I have options of the type of line I want to draw. So I go to more options. Okay, if you go to the part, the 3-bar part of it, just showing you your graph, I have the option of making it a linear line. I have the option of making an exponential line. I have the option of making it a logarithmic line, but you typically want to try to figure on the one that fits it best. So in most cases, it's going to be linear for what you guys are going to be doing. And let's say I want to find out the equation for this line and how well this equation fits the line. So what I'm going to do is click these two items here, display equation and display R squared. R squared tells you how good that line fits your data. If it's equal to 1, you are perfect. If it is not equal to 1, let's say it's 0.987, you're still good. But if it's 0.5, then it's a piece of crap. You don't want to use that type of graph to fit it. Okay, so this tells me that y is equal to x minus 1, right? So my slope is 1 in this case, and we're starting off at the minus 1 value. Okay, so then now I have how to predict the data that's going to be generated from here. You guys see that? Okay. Let's say we're doing something like we took a poll of the class, and since there's 63 people, most people think Dr. Henry's crazy. We'll say 75% say I'm crazy, and we'll go crazy, and we'll say 10 say I'm not crazy, and then we'll say 15 say that I need to be hospitalized. Okay, so what would be the best way of showing this data? What type of graph?
Pie?
What was a pie graph? Did you say a pie?
Yeah.
Excellent. Pie graph. Let's do a pie graph, right? Okay. So then we go here. We select the pie graph. So was that a good representation?
Yes.
Okay. And then we want to say what we're looking at, right? So normally we would put our title up here. By putting a title up here, it'll actually almost always enter that title. If not, you click on it and then you add the title name, right? Okay. Piece of cake, simple. Are you guys there?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so those are just some of the general examples on how to use Excel, right? And earlier, where we were entering things in decimal form and putting it in non-decimal form, this is a great way to check your work, right? So if you're in doubt, this is a good way of looking at it. Go ahead and work out the problem, put it in Excel, and have Excel do it for you, and compare your answers to Excel. So it's a great way of using the tools that you have available to sit there to confirm whether or not you have the concepts right. Can you see how it's being used in this case?
Yes.
Yeah, no, maybe?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions so far?
No.
No.
Okay. I know this is real quick, and it was just like boom, boom, and we'll see what sticks. That's essentially what we're going to do. But what I'm going to try to do is give you one little bit of Excel work so you guys learn how to use it in a scientific manner. Excel is very important for science, for documentation, for keeping track of data. And so if you learn how to use it now, when you get into the situation where you're using it, and sometimes they have a specific program at the job that you're doing that does it, but essentially Excel will do essentially the same thing that a lot of those programs. Okay? Are you guys okay with this?
Yes.
Yeah.